大家好，欢迎你来到 CHI 114的频道，我是高老师。Hey everybody and welcome to the first pre-class video from CHI 114. My name is Gao Lao Shi, and these pre-class videos are aimed at helping you better prepare for class by giving you a step-by-step guide for how to successfully and efficiently prepare for class. If you follow the advice that I give you in these videos, I guarantee you that you will make great strides in the language this semester. Also, if you're able to come to class prepared, meaning that you've watched the videos, you've digested them, you've done what they've asked you to do, that means we can dedicate more class time to practicing using our newly studied vocab and grammar patterns, which in turn will help you become a more comfortable and confident speaker of Mandarin. Let's look now at what's expected of you before our next class session. Before the next class, this video is going to help you accomplish the following learning objectives. Number 1, you should be able to read, understand, and pronounce, using the correct tones, of course, all of the assigned vocab words for next class's in-class quiz. Number 2, you should be able to read and fully comprehend on your own the textbook dialogue. And number 3, you should have a basic understanding of the dialogue's main grammar point. And there's one that we'll be focusing on here in this pre-class video. 准备好了吗？好的，我们开始吧。Let's begin preparing for the next class by first listening to the audio of our new vocab words. And one way to help you better remember these new vocab words, as well as to boost your pronunciation, is to practice saying the words out loud. So as you hear the speaker pronounce these words, please try your best to mimic their pronunciation out loud. And if you'd like to follow along in the textbook, please turn to page 154.
1.
给
2. 4. 2.
打电话
To make a phone call.
电话
Telephone. 3.
喂
On telephone. Hello? Hey. 4.
在
To be present. To be at a place. 5.
就
Precisely. Exactly. 6.
您
You. Honorific for 你. 7.
哪
Which. 8.
为
Polite measure word for people. 9.
下午
Afternoon. 10.
时间
Time. 11.
问题
Question. Problem.
Please go back and listen to this audio at least 2 to 3 more times, repeating out loud what you hear. Now that we've listened to the audio of our new vocab words, it's time to move ahead and listen to the audio from the textbook dialogue. To follow along in your own textbook, please turn to page 152.
喂喂，请问常老师在吗？我就是。您是哪位？老师您好，我是李友。李友，有事儿吗？老师，今天下午您有时间吗？我想问您几个问题。
I would strongly encourage you to go back now and listen to this audio at least 3 more times, just to make sure you can fully understand what both speakers are saying. By the way, if you would like to find these audio files on your own, I've posted them to Canvas for you. All you need to do is go to Canvas, click on the Files tab on the left, and that'll take you to this screen, where it'll have two folders, one labeled textbook audio, the other one workbook audio. To listen to the audio of the textbook vocab words and dialogue, you would click on the textbook audio folder, or to complete your homework assignments, that is the listening part of your homework assignments, you would click on the workbook audio folder. Now that you've listened to the audio of the new vocab words and the dialogue, it's time to start practicing our new vocab words. And one of the most effective methods is flashcards. To start practicing our new vocab words from Lesson 6, Dialogue 1, just scan the QR code here on your screen or click on the link below in the description section of this video. So now, after listening to the dialogue at least 3 times, making sure that you can understand what both speakers are saying, now it's time to look at the main grammar point for the next class session. And that grammar point is 给. So let's look at how it appears in the textbook. And here I've got it in this large rectangular orange box. So it says, 李友给常老师打电话. So the 给 here is a preposition meaning to or for. And so if you're going to be giving somebody a phone call, you're going to be wanting to use this preposition 给. So let's look at this grammar point in a bit more detail. As I just mentioned, 给 is a preposition meaning for or to. And so as a preposition, 给 is followed by a noun or pronoun to form this prepositional phrase, which is placed before the verb. Negative words that you may use with 给 need to come before it, and they are 不 or 没 or 不要 or 不想 or 别. So this 别, we'll talk about that one later on in Lesson 6. The basic structure for using the preposition 给 is to have the subject come first, followed by the preposition 给, and then the person, and a verb, and an object. 好，我们练习. Let's practice. 这个周末，我想给妈妈打电话. So look at the structure of this sentence here. 这个周末 meaning this weekend, and then here we have our subject, 我, and here we have the preposition 给, and who are we giving a phone call to? 妈妈, and then the verb 打电话. So this weekend, I want to give my mom a phone call. Let's look at another example. 请你给我们介绍一下你的朋友. So again, we have the subject coming before the preposition 给. Here the subject is 你. And then we have the preposition 给, followed by somebody, and here it's 我们. And then the verb here is 介绍, meaning to introduce, right? 介绍一下你的朋友. And so 你的朋友 is the object of this sentence. So 请你给我们介绍一下你的朋友 means please introduce to me your friend. 好，中文怎么说? He gave his dad a phone call. 中文怎么说? We could say 他给爸爸打电话. So the subject 他, him, he, 给 is the preposition, somebody, 爸爸. 打电话 is the verb, to give a phone call. 好，我们练习. So please rearrange the words in the following sentence to form a sentence by inserting the preposition 给 where appropriate. Let's do the first one together. So we've got 3 sets of words here, right? The first one we've got 高文中, a person's name. Then we've got this 介绍他姐姐, right? So here we've got a verb 介绍 to introduce his older sister, and we've got somebody here, a person, 我们, us. So how would we rearrange this sentence, and where would we insert 给 to make it a grammatically correct sentence. We could say 高文中给我们介绍他姐姐. Right? So 高文中, this person gave us an introduction or introduced his sister to us. Now you try. I'll give you about 30 seconds to complete numbers 2 and number 3. Let's look at number 2. What would you say here? So we have the subject, 李老师. We would start with that. 给. So who is she 给? Who is she doing this action for? 她的学生, her students. And what type of action is she doing? She is, and here of course I'm missing the character 介. That needs to be inserted right here. But she is 介绍中国音乐. She's introducing them to Chinese music. 第三呢? What about number 3? 第三呢? Here we could say 我妈妈, the person, 给我们看她的照片. So my mother is giving us, or is letting us look at her picture. So those are all the positive structure. Let's look here at the negative structure when you use 给. And here it's important to bear in mind that the negative word, whichever word it's going to be, is going to come before 给. Let's look at an example. 哥哥昨天有事儿，所以他没给我打电话. So yesterday my older brother was busy. He had stuff to do. So he didn't call me. 好，中文怎么说? I was very busy yesterday. I didn't call my mom. 中文怎么说? We could say 我昨天很忙, right? I was busy yesterday. 没给妈妈打电话. I didn't give my mom a phone call. Notice how the negative word 没 comes before the preposition 给. Let's look at a few examples here of common errors I tend to see with this preposition 给. So let's look at this one together. 我给他不打电话. So the speaker's trying to say, I didn't give him a phone call. But remember, negative words should be placed before 给, before the preposition, not before the verb here. So it should be 我不给他打电话. I don't give him a phone call. What about this one? 我给你一个打电话. I gave you a phone call. So the speaker is trying to say that I called you once. But don't forget, 打电话 is a verb object. 打 is the verb. 电话, meaning telephone, is the object. So if you want to specify how many phone calls, the 一个 needs to go between them. So we would say 打一个电话. Verb objects, you can always split them apart. We will practice much more with the preposition 给 in class, but for additional explanations and examples of this grammar point, please do see your Integrated Chinese Textbook, page 156.
In CHI 114, the emphasis isn't so much on writing characters. The most important thing at this point, we believe, is that you're able to recognize characters, to be able to read characters so that you can read books and newspapers as well as social media posts. However, for those of you, much like myself, who really enjoy writing characters, I'm going to share with you some tips that have worked really well for me and for other students. So there are a lot of different methods you can use in practicing writing new characters. If you'd like to use grid paper, feel free to download the grid paper I've uploaded to Canvas. You'll see it at the top of the screen in your modules section. Once you've downloaded that grid paper, you can then start to write characters. What's nice about the grid paper is it provides you with these very neat squares that you can write your characters within, and it makes the characters look that much more aesthetically pleasing. I personally like to use a whiteboard so I don't waste so much paper. So I bought a little whiteboard from Amazon for about $5 or $6, and I use that all the time for practicing writing characters. I've seen other students, though, who really enjoy using their tablets to practice writing characters, and you can do that as well. The most important thing is that you find a method that works best for you.
So now that you've listened to the audio several times for the vocab words and dialogue, you have a basic understanding of the main grammar point. Let's practice writing these new characters. And so I'll always share with you on the screen here these animated character strokes. And it's important when you're writing these characters to follow the correct stroke order. They will just look that much better. So number 1, 给, meaning to or for. And practice writing these at least several times. Number 2, 打电话, 打电话, meaning to make a phone call. Number 3, 电话, 电话, meaning telephone. Number 4, 喂. It's what you say on the phone when somebody calls you, meaning hello or hey. By the way, there's no need for you to learn how to write this. You should know how to read this character. You should know how to pronounce this character. But to tell you the truth, I've actually never, ever written this character out myself. Our next character, 在, 在, meaning to be present, to be at. 就, 就, meaning precisely, exactly. 您, 您 is a polite form of you. You can use it in very formal settings or if you really want to be polite. 哪, 哪, meaning which. 位, 位, and this is a polite measure word for people. So one person, 一位人, 一位老师, one teacher. 下午, 下午, meaning afternoon. 时间, 时间, meaning time. 问题, 问题, meaning question or problem. The first character, when, simply means to ask or to inquire.
I'm sure most of you know about this app by now, but just in case if you haven't heard of it, I think this is perhaps the most important app you could have on your phone. And it's called Pleco. It's the ultimate Chinese learning companion. It has a very comprehensive dictionary with lots of examples of how to use certain words, and for some characters, it'll even tell you the correct stroke order. Also, it'll tell you how to pronounce various words. You can look up a word by either typing in the Chinese characters, or typing in the pinyin, or typing in its English meaning, or even using the handwriting input. The dictionary and stroke order function are entirely free. They do, though, have a few add-on features that are relatively cheap and I think worth it. For instance, I use the flashcard system on my phone. I think it cost me about $5, but it comes in handy when I'm trying to save new words that I encounter, and then it helps me review those words and later on remember them.
So if you don't have this app on your phone, I would suggest downloading it as soon as you can. All you need to do is scan the QR code on your screen here or click on the link below in the description section of the video. And finally, once you feel comfortable with the new vocab words, characters, and grammar points from the first part of Lesson 6 Dialogue 1, don't forget to take the Lesson 6 Dialogue 1 Part 1 pre-class practice quiz in Canvas before our next class session. 好的，谢谢大家，下次见，拜拜。